Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kurnia Amalia, and this morning, I would like to give you some explanation, a little explanation of trigonometry and sections of graphic of sine, cosinus, and tangent. So, let's start it. Problem one. Here we given three of graphic, sine graphic, cosinus graphic, and tangent graphic. As you can see in the right side, the question number 8, sine 3.5 pi equals blah blah blah. So you can answer these questions with graph of sinus. You can click here to see about the graphic, and you can minimize or maximize it. So to find it as clear as possible, let's maximize it. As you can see that the sinus graphic consists with one hill and one valley. So it's repeated after one hill and one valley until undefined pi. So the question is 3.5 pi. Here the section of 3.5 pi. As we can see, it's here. If you want to looking for the question, the answer, you can meet it with the y-axis. It's the value of the what is 3.5 pi. It's -1. So you can write it as a -1. Correct. Next questions. B. Fill in the period of the sine function is and tangent function is. So what is period? Period is the shortest of the interval. As I have said before, the sine functions consists as one hill and one valley, and then it's repeated. Before it's repeated, the valley ends in 2 pi. So the period of the sine function is 2 pi. I'm sorry for the noises. Second one is tangent function. So we can answer it first and then click the tangent graph, and you can see the tangent has this graph as it starts like from -1 and then past the 0 and then up until undivided in axis 1, and then it repeated until p. So we can say that the period of the tangent function is pi. So let's move to the second questions. Sinusoid. The graph of the function sin x in an example of the sinusoid. So, as we can see that this graph has equilibrium state, amplitude, period, and starting point. So, if the function is sin x, we have some properties like equilibrium state or A is 0, amplitude or B is 1, period or C is 2 pi, and the starting point or D is 0. So let's answer the questions. What are the equilibrium state, amplitude, period, and starting point of the graph in the picture? For the function 1 plus 1/2 sin 2x minus 4, or maybe as we can see that this is A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D. So for equilibrium state, we can write as 1. For amplitude, we can write as 1.5. Period, we can write as we know this is 2x. So it's 2 times from the usual graphic. So 2 pi per 2 equals to pi. So let's write as pi. And the starting point, as we can see, this is starting point, or D is 2. So we can write it as 2. And correct. B. Select the property or properties between sin x and cos x diver. To answer these questions, we can back to the number 1 questions to using that graphic. So as I said before, the sin graph, this graph of sin is consists 1 hill and 1 valley. For the hill, it started from 0, while from cosinus graph, it consists 1 hill and 1 valley too, but it started from the 1. So the differences between the sin and the cosinus is from starting point. So we can click the answer is starting point. Okay, let's move. Starting point. I think this equilibrium state is equals. It's depend on the variable before the of the function, amplitude 2 and the period 2. I think the period, the sinus and the cosinus, the period of the cosinus and cosinus equals to 2. Okay. Number 3. Formula for sinusoid. So the formula of a sinusoid, the function is fx equals sin x. We can see we can use these tools for looking what is differences if we change the amplitude, the period, or the whole graph. So let's answer the questions number 8. Change the amplitude from 1 to 2. As we have answered the questions in number 2, we know that in the function of the sinus, it consists amplitude, sinus, period, and then starting point. This one. So this is the amplitude, the variable before sinus. So if we want to change the amplitude from 1 to 2, we can write the function as 2 sinus x. Okay, correct. Or maybe we can see what the difference is, or what if we change the variable of the amplitude to sin x. Don't forget, click the checklist section, and then as you can see from this green line, this is the graphic of the sinus to sin x. And then we have to change the period from 2p to 1. As we know that the period in this degree of the sinus, so you can see that, so you can write it as sin. The usual sin function is 2p, so we want to change it into 1, so you can divide it, the 2p to divide 2 pi with 2 pi, 2, so we can have an equals 1. So we can write for the answer of the function is sin 2px. And then C, translate the whole graph up, 1 up and 2 to the right. So we want to shift the graph 1 up and 2 right. For shift the graph up, we can give it as equilibrium, give an equilibrium state with 1. So 1 plus sin 2x. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Sin x plus 2. So to shift the graphic to the right or to the left, you can change the degree of the sinus. While if you want to change the graphic up or down, you can give the variable outside of the degree. So let's check it. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. Translate the whole graph out 1 up and 2 to the right. I'm sorry, I forgot. It have to minus 2. Because if you want to save it to the right, it's minus, or if you want it to the left, it's plus. And you can see what is the differences between the graphic. You can see you can use this tool. X equals 1. Oh no, sin. I'm sorry. Sin 2px. Nah. You can see from this line, the red line, it's more shorter. It's shorter than the blue or the green one. It means that the period is also shorter. It's 1. And then for the C, I think it's enough for these tools. It's okay. We can next to these questions. Number 4. Okay, for number 4, the equation of the form sin x equals a. So we have the interval of the sin x is 0 to 2 pi. If we have a function like sin b equals to variable constanta, I'm sorry, sin b equals to constant, and then the given x, so sin x equals to the same constant with the sin b. So we can say that x equals b plus 2 times constant times pi, or x equals pi minus b plus 2 times constant times pi. So as you can see, let me write it here. Sinus I'm sorry. Sin mu what is mean? Or you can say it's a sin b equals to 3/4, and then sin x equals to 3 sin x equals to 3.4 3 point. So look at this one. So we can say that so we have to know what is b before for to answer what is b for the radians. It's sinus. Oh, sorry, maybe you can see that asinus, arcsin. We can use this bracket. And then we can write it as 3 divided by 4. So what is the value of this one? We can use the scientific calculator, or maybe usually I use GeoGebra. But for GeoGebra, they don't use arcsin, but they use to sinus power -1. So let's input 3 and 4 equals to 48 degree, or you can change it with radian. So maybe angel unit, you can change it into radians. So we had 0.848 radian, or maybe such 8 per 10 radian, or 8 per 10 p. So why are we using radian? Because 100 or pi is the units of the radian. So we can change it to this one. Our sinus is 8. I'm sorry. So this one 8 divided by 10 p. Or maybe we can simplify it as 4 divided by 5 radian, or 5. So we can conclude that x equals to, so we can put the value of b is 4/5 pi plus 2. In these questions, you can see that the period of the function is 2p until 4p. So I think it's 2 times from the usual. So I think you can multiply it with 2. So times 2 times p. Our x equals to 4 and 4 divided by 5. What? 4 divided 5, divided 5, 5. Or x can be pi minus b, or minus 4 over 5 pi plus 2 times 2 times pi, or x equal 4 and 1 over 5 pi. But when I write it on the answers, this answer column, it's never been checklist or right or it. So I think, but for me, the explanation that I know is this one. If we use this formula. So let's next to the B sections. Which one of the following set of the solution belongs to the equations? Tan x equals to square root of 3. As we know that the degree of the tan x equals to square root of 3 is 30 degree, or if we change it into radian, so it's 30 divided by 180 equals to 1 over 6p. Oh, I'm sorry, not 30 but 60 degree. So it's not 1 over 6, but it's 1 over 3. Over 3p. And from this following formula, for the tangent, the formula is x equals to b plus 2 times constant times p. As we know that the b is 1 and 1 over 3 pi, so we can use plus, as we know that this function is only in one period, or p, so we can say that this constant is 1. So I think it's x equals 1 over 3 pi plus constant pi. Let's check it, and that's true. So this is the end of the questions. So this is the end of my explanations, and I think it can be useful for you, and see you next time. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.